Hello there. I just finished up doing all the readings for July for the zodiac, and I noticed there were a lot of matching up, the cards matching up and telling stories like with the future and the past. So I thought I'd make a how-to video showing how to lay out and read the cards. I made a video a few years ago about how to shuffle and cut the cards and lay them out. But I don't think I talked very much in that video about how to read the cards and make connections. So I thought that might be a good how-to video. So first off, I've got my court card in the center. And I asked, when I was shuffling the cards, I've already done that, I was asking the question of how the second half of the year, because this is being filmed on June 30th, so I was asking how the second half of the year would be financially, because I wanted the layout to see if it could get any matches in the layout. So this card represents me because I was asking the question about me. But if you watch any of my zodiac videos, you'll notice that I don't have a court card, and that's because it's for a group of people. So on those videos, I have a piece of silver, and that represents the querent, the people who I'm asking the question for. So if you're doing something like a zodiac type of thing where you're asking a question for a whole group of people, then it's kind of hard to have a court card because one card wouldn't represent all the different people. So I put the piece of silver there. But since I'm asking the question about me, then I put this card, the King of Cups, because that card kind of fits my qualities, my personality and stuff. So that card is about me. And I've got Pandora up here. I had Witch Hazel on the July videos. So Pandora is going to be with me for when I make the August videos next month. But okay, so the question is how the financial situation will be for the second half of this year. Let's see what the cards, if they'll get any matches or anything. And I'll explain what each card, where its position is. And this is the Celtic method that I use. And there's other methods if you want to use those. This is the one I like the best. So the first card shows the general atmosphere of the question. And it covers this card, covers the court card. Just a general atmosphere surrounding the question. And in this case, it means a new beginning, because the other way, because it's reversed, in this way it would mean a pause, the Four of Swords, and this way it means a new beginning, a new start. So that kind of makes sense financially, because things have been kind of paused in the last few months. That makes sense right there. And then the second card crosses this card, and it's always read right side up. So if it turns out this way, it's always read this way, and it crosses this card. And it means the opposing forces to the question that are opposing this question. And in some cases, it seems like it's giving the same answer. In this case, it's the Miser card. And it shows that wealth is coming, but I have to be careful not to just focus on wealth, because the miser, he focused on wealth so much that he forgot about everything else. So it shows new activity, a new beginning of something, and then it shows more money coming in, but I have to be careful not to focus on money. So those two connect. So that makes sense. There's a connection there. Now for the past, This card will tell me what the basis of the question is, something that's already part of the past, and this card will tell me something that's just passing away. So let's see what the next one is. That's a good one. And that also represents money, because it's a pentacle. So it means activity with money, something good with money. And this is a good card, Page of Pentacles. Good information, a good message coming in. This is a good person, and it has to do with money. So I've already got 3 connections going. Some new activity, and then some increase in my wealth, my income maybe, but I have to be careful. And then this talks about money, some money coming in. So I've got all these connections happening already. And we've only got 3 cards up. So that's a good thing. And so that's something that's already happened in the past. And that's true too, because my income has been steady for the last 6 months. There hasn't been any problems with my income. I've had the same job and everything, so that makes sense. Now for something that's just passing, that's a very good card. It means I've achieved some goals. I've accomplished something, which is also true. So all these cards are connecting well so far with the question I asked. And this also says I'll get my reward, which is talking about a future reward, whatever that might be. I'm not sure what my reward is, but that's what that's talking about. And that's something that's just passing away. This is something that's part of the past. And this is something that's in the past, but it's just starting to pass away into the future. And up here we have the future cards, the 2 future. These are the 2 past. And here's the 2 future cards. And this one will say something that may happen. And this is something that will happen. So let's see what it says about what may happen. That's interesting. That talks about a new enterprise. Because this guy is starting out on a new enterprise. He's just sent out a ship full of goods. And he's got a little globe here. I don't know if you can see it. And the ship is going to travel to some distant land and then get some product, and then bring it back, and then he's going to sell it. So some new enterprise is going to happen. I have no idea what that new enterprise is in my life, so I don't know what might happen. That's just a may happen card. So I don't know what that new enterprise could be. But something that will happen, that's success. So whatever this is, it says it'll be successful. And this is a cups. These are 3 maidens celebrating because something good has happened. And they've got good wine, they've got nice clothes, there's little prosperity, little crops and things around here, little vegetables and stuff. So good things are happening, prosperity. So that talks about something that will happen. So here's another connection. It says, this card says that I will have more wealth, more money. And this card says I'll have some kind of new enterprise. And then this card says it'll be successful. So we've got all these connections with money, something, new beginning. This is also a new beginning, and this is a new beginning. So there's a connection between these 2 cards. That's interesting. That says a new beginning, and this says a new enterprise. So that's good. So 2 connections there, and then these 2 connect because they're connected with money. That means more money coming in, and that means money from the past. Things in the past were working well. And then this one says a new enterprise, and then the new enterprise will be successful. So there's all these matches so far. That works out really nice. I'm glad it worked out that way. So now the next card is down here. It's something I fear or negative feelings I have towards the question. Let's see what that is. That one means some kind of failure, some kind of setback. or weakness, because this way this person's being courageous and he fought in a battle already and he's come back to stand watch again even though he's injured. And then this way means some kind of weakness and maybe illness too, which would make sense because that's what I fear. I would fear weakness or illness, which may disrupt with all this other stuff. So that card there makes perfect sense in what I fear. So that's good. Then the next card is for friends and family. And it could mean something that's happening with them or an influence they will have on this situation, on the question. So let's see what's going on there. That's actually a good card. The other way, this way would be a negative card because this person is trying to do too much. But this way it means a good card, that they're taking it easy, they're not overdoing it. So that's not a specific thing, but it's saying that somewhere in my friends and family that someone is doing the right thing. They're not overdoing it. They're taking it easy. They're going in moderation, which is good. So that's a good card there for friends and family. It doesn't really relate to anything here, but it's good news for my friends or my family members that they're not going to overdo it and try to stress themselves out and stuff, things like that. Now, the ninth card that goes here talks about my hopes and my dreams of what I hope will happen. So let's see what that one is. That's interesting. That's the Hermit. That means someone will give me advice. I don't really hope for that because I don't expect advice, but that's an interesting card. So maybe someone will give me advice. Huh, okay. Sometimes the cards don't seem to make sense, but it's a good card. It says someone's going to give me advice. Someone's going to help me or help guide me somewhere. So that's interesting. And then the last card is the final outcome. That goes here. And it's not just that card. It also, you have to take into effect all the other cards that are here. So let's see. Oh, okay. This way it would mean stagnation, which would be a bad thing. But this way it means freedom and new activity, which also connects with a new enterprise and new activity over here. So there's another connection there. So that's a good card. That shows new activity and freedom. Now, if that were a bad card, let's see if I can find some bad cards in here. That card kind of bad. It means overindulgence. No. Death. I had a death card. This one means sorrow. So let's say that one were there. That means tears and sorrow and sadness. It doesn't mean that everything is going to be sad. You have to take into account all the other cards. So all these other cards are good. This one's good. Everything's good. This one tells me what I fear. Everything is working good. So if the last card turns out bad like that, then it doesn't ruin the whole spread. It just means that I have to be careful of maybe something negative happening. So just because the final outcome card is bad doesn't mean the whole thing is ruined. On one of the July readings, I actually had the devil card right there. Everything else was perfect, but the final card was the devil, which is a very bad card, but it would just mean to be careful, to not, and I also had, on that one, I think the miser card was over here. So one of the things about the miser is he's saying, don't be foolish, don't get involved with money so much that you become obsessed with it. And with the devil card, it says that the people are obsessed with money and material things. So those two cards connected. And the idea was that you're going to make some money, but don't become so obsessed with it that it controls your whole life. So that worked out really well. I wanted to show connections, and it worked out really well. So you should have connections in all these different places. Money connections here, a new enterprise here. Get rid of this card. That shows a new beginning, a new activity, new enterprise, so there's connections there. And it shows success here and here, because that means wealth and success. But I have to be careful not to focus on money. And this means success and happiness and riches and celebrating, because they're celebrating these maidens. So that's good. And this shows what I fear. And this shows that something good was happening in the past, which led into this good stuff. So that actually turned out good. I was going to show examples. If this didn't work out with connections, I was going to show examples of the July readings. Because Sagittarius for July, if you want to go and look at that, that has all kinds of connections. The past was connecting, and the future is connecting, and it's connecting with all kinds of other cards. And then in the Pisces reading for July, this whole group of cards here and all these cards here all connect together, and it actually tells a little story. The story starts here, and it goes through here and up to here and over to here and over to here. So I was going to put that into the video, to cut it in and show you that, but I don't, since this worked out so well, I won't have to show you that. But if you want to go back and look at those two videos, Sagittarius and Pisces, you'll see how those cards were connecting. Sagittarius was connecting all over the place, even more than this one did. So those are good examples. But that's how you do it. So that's how you lay out the cards. That's what each one means. And watch out for the connections. Money and enterprise and success and new beginning. And this guy I don't understand. I don't know who's going to give me advice, but that's a good card. Someone might help me. And something good with your family members and something you fear. So that's a good way to, that turned out really well. I thought it was going to turn out so there'd be no connections at all, but it turned out really well. So I hope that helps. And if you want to learn more about every time I do a reading on the zodiac ones, I tell where the cards are going and what they mean and what each place means. So they're not just foretelling what's going to happen in July or August or whatever. They're also to teach you, to help you to remember that this is something from the past, and this is something that's just passing, and this may happen, and this will happen. And I say that each time I lay the card out, so that it'll help to teach the people if they want to learn, if they want to watch the videos to learn how to lay out, then they'll know what each place means, and they'll remember that. So I hope this helped you. Hope you have a nice day. Thank you for watching. Bye.